Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a couple things to show you. So first, I wanted to show you these knives from Magold. So if you guys aren't aware, they've been around a little bit. People have been showing these off. I'm late to the game. I actually have a third one of these. It all started with me getting one for my daughter. I just wanted to get her something to get her into knives a little bit. And this guy, you can follow him on Instagram. I'll link him down below. I believe it's Magnafold_1. He makes these magnetic sort of wooden knives that are fidgety and they're kind of safe. So they're safe. So kids can use them. He makes them in smaller ones, larger ones. He models them after stuff sometimes. It's very cool. I've already told him I'd love to have him make some in Divo designs that we could sell together or wherever, so that people who collect our knives or buy our knives, like our brand, that have kids could kind of get them into it. You know, I just thought it'd be cool. And this is what I told him. We really need to have our first USA made knife. And this would be a good one. So basically there's magnets in there. And that's how it opens and closes. It's very fidgety. It pops, right? The smaller one I found, honestly, was a little more fidgety for me. I think it's going to come down to your hand size. I have a large glove size hand, so not tiny, but, you know, the knife also isn't tiny. It's probably like para 3 size, the little one. Or native 5 size or something. But super fun. This one is really fidgety like the little one I have. It snaps open and closed. This Arius looking one, it doesn't quite snap. It works, but when it opens, it kind of just opens. Right here, it just opens. Where this one snaps really nice. It does snap closed though, which is cool. So, I mean, it's not like a big deal. I just wanted to point it out. You know, you're going to have some variants, but 2 out of the 3 that I have are super snappy like that. The magnet on this is good. It just doesn't quite snap when it opens up. I don't know if it has something to do with the way where the stop pin lands or something, but or where the magnet's seated, or, you know, how far the pivot is from it. I don't know. There's definitely some, like, play in it all over. It's not meant to be, you know, the sturdiest, like, thing ever. It's not a real knife, right? You got to understand that. I believe they're like $40 for the large ones and like 25 or 30 for the little guys. They are super fun. You just need to be a little bit careful. You know, depending on your kid's age and everything, they could obviously destroy it pretty easy. If this got sat on like here or something, it would probably just snap. But my kids had it for, I don't know, a week, and it's survived it. She sits there and does this and enjoys it. I enjoy it. I got more because I enjoy it. So stay tuned to my live streams every Thursday night and every other Saturday. I was going to give this one away since I really like the way this one feels in hand. I do like that snap, not going to lie. And anyway, I thought I'd give one away so somebody else could try these and see what they think. Maybe they have a kid. They all have sort of a front flipper option, or most of them do, which is really fun. Ergonomic if you needed to actually I'm just kidding. You know, this is the only thing I'd say in regards to kids. It does have, most of them do have sort of a tip. Like if you poked me with this, it would hurt, you know. So, you know, that one's sharper too. So like you could just take your Leatherman, right? Take your file and just round that thing down. You could chop that off. You could do whatever you wanted if you really, really felt like making it like dumb proof. But I'm an idiot and I've survived. So You also would be able to teach them a little bit of safety, you know. But it does vary. Like this one's pretty pokey, actually. This one's less so. But very cool. These are from Magold. And they're magnetic, kid-friendly, wooden, fidgety knives. Trust me, if you get one of these, you'll sit here all day just fidgeting with it, figuring out what you can do with it, like this move. So very, very fun stuff, all right? The next thing I wanted to show you was my Sparrow Strix Lefty. Just kidding, but I love this thing. I just filmed the first impressions unboxing thing, and I'm sending it back, but I'm going to miss it. I really have fallen head over heels for this thing in the last few hours, and I'm going to miss the shit out of it. So I just wanted to brag one more time. Another thing I got in here is from gift-made blades. So I picked up some bearings for myself. So I have here, grab my bearing thing. I also have been putting reserves in here so that I don't have a million bearings in here. It makes it hard to close. So these are 5 millimeter, 1 millimeter. Very rare, but good to have, right? These are 6 millimeter, 1/16, 18 ball. I have enough of those, but I wanted one because I used one, and then I was down to like 1 or 2 pairs. I always like to have backups. 3/16, 1/16. I found I was down to like 1 set of these, so I wanted to get a few because these are common in U.S. made knives. 5 millimeter, 3/64. These are the ones I really needed because everything apparently takes them now from China. And then here's another 5 millimeter, 1 millimeter. So I'm going to fill this guy up here. And then I'm going to go in here. I think I still have, these are the 5 millimeter, 1/16. I always keep a bunch of these because that is the most common size you will see. Here's that 3/16, 1/16. So I did have one there. And then here's the 5 mil, 3/64. So I will put one more of these in here. And I'll put that near the top because, again, these two are the most popular. So if you're looking to just buy a couple of sets to have around, I would say there's 2 things to know if you're into giant knives or you're into normal knives, right? If you're into normal knives, a shit ton of them from China, Civivi, Wee, Best Tech, the list goes on and on. They use these. 5 millimeter, oh, sorry, wrong kind. 5 millimeter, 1/16, 11 ball. They will be in 80% of the knives I ever take apart. Lately, from China, 5 mil, 3/64. Always good to have these on hand because it's the missing link bearing. For years, we could not, there were just certain knives you couldn't put in bearings. And we couldn't figure out why. This is why, because they were 3/64 ball. They're just slightly smaller than 1/16 ball. If you're into a lot of American-made knives, you want 3/16, 1/16, 11 ball. It's essentially the American equivalent of the 5 mil, 1/16. Honestly, the 5 mils will fit most 3/16 knives if you had to do it in a pinch. And then I would also recommend you get 1/4 inch 1/16 because a lot of U.S. knives like Koenig, stuff like that, use those. So it all really depends on what you're into. So if you get a lot of overseas made knives, just go 5 mil, 1/16, and 3/64, and then get like one set of 6 millimeter, 1/16, and you're good. But my recommendation is always to get one of these, which is a Skiff Workshop test fit card for bearings. You can literally put your bearings in here, figure out the ball size, and then you can put your pivot in these holes and figure out the pivot size. Then you go on Skiff Made Blade or skiffworkshop.com and you order that size bearing. The only thing you won't have is the ball count, and you could figure that out pretty easy by just looking at the diameter of the bearing you have. If it's a big old multi-row, then you get multi-rows. If it's a little guy with single row, you get single row. Pretty easy to figure out. They also have a list, a compatibility sheet on their website that has all the knives that anybody's ever told them the size bearing of, and you can look up your knife. Every time I take apart a knife, I give them the size to update the sheet, so that sheet should have a lot of information on it. But I will also be giving away one of these. So we're getting a little bit of a giveaway pile going here for the next live stream, aren't we? Then he also included a finger bit. This is Vapor Hone Anodized Blue. The finger bit is this guy right here. Another essential tool if you are taking knives apart. Anything with a spinning barrel, pivot, standoffs, just barrels. It's very common. They spin on one side and then you go to loosen it and it's just spinning, spinning, spinning. You don't know why. It's because the other side's probably spinning too. This, you can lock that other side down with and then hold the knife in the same hand, and then you can still unscrew with this hand. Just makes your life so much easier. It's small, compact, super ergonomic. It's one of the best knife inventions in a long time. And I will be giving one of those away as well. So very cool giveaway pack coming up soon. All right. And the last thing I wanted to show you that I just haven't had a chance to unbox yet is a new sole-built Marksmith. I don't want to talk too much about this because I do want to do a dedicated video, but I was able to snag a new one of these. They sent it to me. They were very, very kind. The company's very cool. They left me a little note here that says, "You've got the best phrases, brother." Take care. So I have one of these already. I'll grab it. It's my favorite writing instrument that I own. I have some really cool pens that I love, but this is my favorite writing instrument. It is a titanium bolt action Sharpie. It's amazing. Trust me, if you use a Sharpie ever, this thing is the coolest and well worth the money. It is expensive. It's $100, $115, depending on the finish, but it is well worth every single penny. And they can laser on stuff. So on this one, I put dead nuts, which is pretty funny because when I had it made, they asked me if I wanted a saying on there, and I said dead nuts, and they almost wrote D's nuts because they thought I said D's nuts, which is hilarious. But this one says dead nuts. It's in a sort of black coated finish. I think it might be PVD or DLC. And then it's sort of matte finished because I didn't know this finish existed. And apparently this is the OG finish. And here's just a probably descriptor thingy. And yep. And usually I think these come with some kind of refills or something. I told them I didn't need more because I bought some and I had some already. I like the black refill. Until they come out with one that's like silver or gold or something, I don't really need anything but black because I want silver or gold so I can write on black stuff. Right now, red, green, blue, doesn't matter. Nothing shows up really well on black. But here it is, the new Marksmith. Look at that. Oh, it does have a refill, maybe two. And this one, oh my God. This one is in a polished titanium. So I actually saw it at Blade Show West because my buddy Ben Belkin, Jack Wolf Knives, he had one of these. We borrowed it because for some dumb reason I didn't bring mine to the show. Probably because I didn't want to lose it. And he lost it there, actually. Luckily, he got it back. But I was like, they have a machine titanium version? I love satin titanium. Like, I love satin anything. It's my favorite, you know, finish on stuff, right? Especially a brushed, which I can't tell if this is, but, and then look at this. detent Divo, baby. I had to think of a dorky saying. So we got D's nuts and detent Divo, baby. Sorry, dead nuts, D's nuts. That's great. Yeah, these things are sweet. It probably has a refill in there. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. So I got 2 refills anyway. Look at that. Listen to that. Now, the regular titanium version, I believe, is like $99. And this one's like $20 more. So depending on your taste, that might make a difference. I will say... might be a break-in. That one feels a little stronger on the spring, but this one feels a little smoother, which would make sense because of the coating that could be changing things. But honestly, there is no spring in here, is there? Let's take it apart. Again, I'm going to do a video on this, but I don't think there's a spring. I think it's built into the refill. So it all depends on, on the spring on the refill, I guess. Oh, man, I'm over here critiquing the refill springs from Sharpie. Well, so the way this works is they have to cut the end off of the Sharpie. So I actually bought some of these so that I could see how they do it. You have to like slice the Sharpie open, cut it, and then you have to take this out, and then you have to cut this down to size to fit inside of the Marksmith. So there's a little bit of work involved in getting the refills in there, but they sell the refills ready to go on their website, and they're very affordable. It's like $5. You get 2 of them or something like that. It's not expensive or anything. They just want to make it easy on you. And once you know how to do it, it's super easy. You can put in different colors, blue, red, green, highlighter, and then black, I believe, are the colors you can get. And they're working on other stuff. Like I said, I'm hoping there's a silver. If you haven't noticed, there's almost like no seam. I take that back. There is no seam. I mean, if you can point to the seam for me, please do. Because I don't even know where it is until I start doing this. And I'm like, oh, there it is. And that's on both. There's also there's an adapter to put in Parker refills, which is cool. So you can use this as a pen. So if you are not like me and you don't want to spend hundreds on pens over and over, and you just want to buy one really good thing, well, you're in luck. You can buy this and then swap it to a pen, swap it to a marker, do whatever you want. But this is the Marksmith. It's in titanium. It's the coolest writing instrument on the planet, hands down. And now I have another one. So I can put one in a bag. I can put one at my desk and one at my shipping station. I'm excited about it. I'm going to do a dedicated video. Stay tuned for that. Big shout out to Soul Belt for sending this my way to review and check out. Honestly, I already reviewed it, so they really just sent it to me because they're cool as shit and they know I love it. And I do. So I'll link it down below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for giveaways on stuff. Watch the live streams on Thursday nights at 9:45. I will catch you later.